So let's talk about experiments. And before I start talking about experiments, this is a different way of collecting data than a sample. So before we do that, I want to talk about what are observational studies, and samples are definitely part of this. Sample surveys. So a survey is an observational study. All right, so the definition of an observational study is this is where you record qualities that exist without your intervention. And this is the important part. All right, so you're not doing something to people and then seeing what happens. That's an experiment. An observational study is, okay, you know, how do people feel about something? You'd ask their opinion, you measure temperatures, or you can measure anything, right? But you're just basically looking at what people look like. Where are people right now? All right. An example of an observational study. This was a very large study that was done, and researchers compared the scholastic performance of music students with non-music students. And what they found was that the music students, these are people who took music in some form at school, had a much higher GPA on average than non-music students. And so what people tend to jump to as far as conclusions is they're like, oh, taking music must improve your GPA. But here's the question, is that true? And what the answer to this is no, it is not true. And this should be a period. Let's put no. All right, so no, it doesn't improve. Okay, here. Not necessarily is what that's the correct answer. Now, while this study does tell us what the population of students look like in this particular, school, but there have been many studies that have found the same thing. It does tell us that music students on average do get better GPAs. But what it doesn't tell us is why they get better GPAs. All right. And it's not necessarily the fact that they're taking music.